Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Old Man and the Gun. I let this one slip by me, but now it's out on DirecTV, so let's give it a watch here. Starring Robert Redford, Casey Affleck, Danny Glover. Who else is in it? Sissy Spacek is in it. A lot of good people in it. And it's based on a true story about Forrest Trucker, and he escapes from San Quentin at the age of 70 and starts going on a string of heists. So that's kind of neat. Who else is in it? There's one other. John David Washington. A lot of people are learning who he is. It seems like it should be a pretty good story. IMDb, I think, has it at a 6.9. I can't believe I just didn't see that. 6.9, and 13,274 people rated it. So I think it might be pretty interesting. It's only an hour and 32 minutes long. I'll get into it, find out what it's really about, give you my thoughts on it, and tell you about anything interesting that's happening in the film. But I'm mildly excited about this one. So stick around, we'll see how it goes, and I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Old Man and a Gun. And sorry there was no check-ins. It really wasn't needed, I don't think. Actually, there was a point where I was in the movie 52 minutes into it and I was going to do a quick check-in, but it wasn't much left, so I decided to wait till the credits. But it was a very good movie. So it's based on a true story, Forrest Tucker, and everything that he did. So it's not just... They set it up in IMDb as he, at least of one small synopsis that I read, was that it's right after his escape from San Quentin and a string of robberies that he does. Well, the movie doesn't play out that way. Not that I'm going to spoil it for you, but it just starts off with him robbing banks. And he has two other people with him, so he's not doing it solo. Danny Glover's one of them. I forget who the other guy is, but anyway, the two of them are robbing these banks, and it's showing how they're doing it. And he does it with charisma and charm and stuff like that. So everybody who gets robbed by him says he was so pleasant, he was nice, personable. And that's how he's kind of getting away with it. And they just show him doing this across the country, just going different places and robbing different banks. Meanwhile, he's in his 70s. So one guy says he's 67, and I believe Forrest Tucker is in his 70s, maybe 70 years old, and he's played by Robert Redford, if that's not clear. So Casey Affleck is playing the detective trying to catch them, which is my only one area of opportunity, and I'll talk about that in a second. But so it goes on to show this developing story of a little cat and mouse in a sense, but they don't develop that enough, I don't think. It's there. There's enough to show that there's some kind of thing, but they make it out in the end more than it really was. Like, you really think that there's this kind of bond between the detective and the bank robber, which doesn't come out on screen, I think, well enough. I think the intent is there, but they didn't, it's only an hour and a half film, and I think they could have done a better job of building that. There is some small pieces, but I think that could have been a little bit better, because they made it out at the end like there was this whole thing going on, and there really wasn't, But anyway, also throughout the movie and throughout his robberies at this time, he meets up with Sissy Spacek and her character, and they start dating, kind of thing. So I thought that was going to be the downfall for him. I thought something he was going to do was going to be what got him caught, if he does get caught. But as I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, I don't think IMDb was right, because it's just showing the robberies, which I'm assuming is going to lead up to his arrest, which then could lead to his escape from San Quentin. But they explain this is not a spoiler, because it truly is after his escape from San Quentin. It then shows what this guy has done. And this time leading up to it was right after that point. But he evidently, and I researched it to make sure it's true, he's an escape artist. It's just interesting. He escapes from prison numerous amount of times, 16 times or something like that. And it's like, okay, how do they let that continue to happen? Multiple prisons he's able to escape from, and they catch him, and he comes right back out. How does that continue to happen? So I found that very interesting about the actual real life person, and it's portrayed a little bit in here. They show a little glimpse of all of that. And also, this is Robert Redford's last film. He retired after this film. That's, I think that's worthy enough of watching. The film takes place in 1981. It shows it's all in 1 year essentially of him in 1981, and which is right after he had escaped, and everything that goes on there. So and I think when they do it, the cars and the outfits, great, that's good, but the film quality, I think, also lended it some authenticity to 1981. At least it did for me. My projector could be going out or something like that, but it did. It felt like that. Wasn't like the real high definition and clarity and things that, or the things that go on in movies today. So I thought that helped with the tone or the emotion of the movie. I don't know. Acting, okay, he was great. It was Robert Redford. He did a great job, because as a bank robber with charisma and style and stuff like that, and he's could win people over, like he could back in the day. So I enjoyed it. The only area of opportunity, I think, or the only flaw, was the development of the I don't want to say rapport, but they really make the relationship between Casey Affleck and Robert Redford's character seem like that was bigger than it actually was. And maybe it was in real life. I think they could have done a better job of portraying that up here on the movie. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. Only an hour and a half long. No reason to do any check-ins. But fun to watch. I don't think I left anything else out. I think that was everything I wanted to say. Yeah, that's it. I covered everything for you there. So definitely something worth watching. And I don't think it's not one of those where you have to have a certain interest. Like if you're interested in movies about bank robberies or films that take place in 1981, this might be for you. No, I think this is pretty interesting for a lot of people. So check it out, and let me know what you think. If you do, I'd love to hear your comments. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.